Hey, good evening, welcome, thanks for joining in. I don't know if it's as warm where you're watching from as it is here. It's a pretty warm night in Montreal. It's very, very humid in Montreal as well. So this room, I think, right now is a little slightly above 30 degrees Celsius, which in Fahrenheit is 86, but it's very humid. So with the humidex, and I must be a little higher than that. Yeah, the first thing I wanted to do was kind of apologize for the stuff behind me. I've been helping my parents move out of their house. They're moving soon, so I got a bunch of stuff from my childhood returned to me. Most of that stuff is actually Lego, so there's quite a bit in there, quite a bit of it in there. And yeah, actually, it's so warm in here that the 3D printer doesn't want to connect to the PC anymore over the USB cable. When things started getting warm, I started getting flaky serial connections and stuff like that. So I've been printing over SD recently. But I did want to show you what I got done in the past couple of days because it's kind of exciting progress. I've got this model here. Actually, let me show you what this looks like inside the computer. Talk about the few changes that I've made. Actually, to talk about the computer itself. So the camera here has changed a little bit. This is actually an old HD camera that I had, but that I couldn't use because it doesn't compress the video that it sends, unlike the C920, which is the other webcam I use on my workbench. C920 is awesome. Everybody uses it to stream, but it's really good because it compresses in MPEG, I believe, on the fly. Don't quote me on that. Whereas this one, it's an older HP model that I got for $10 in a sale, and it does not compress, which means that it basically needs like a USB hub by itself. If it's plugged into anything else, or anything else is plugged into that USB hub, there's traffic collisions, and I either lose video or I lose sound, or it's a mess basically. But I got an extra PCIe USB 3 card, so now I can use this camera. So the quality is a little better. And ultimately, what I'd like to do is to put an overhead cam above the desk there, so that we basically get two angles into what I'm doing and stuff like that. Slowly but surely. So yeah, so here is the improved. I've been calling it the switch box. It kind of looks like a box, you know. Each individual thing, kind of the switches fit in there, pretty tight. And not that much has changed really. So one thing you might have noticed here is I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Somebody asked me. That's right. Last time somebody asked me about num keys, and the fact that I was changing some parameters in the model here, and it wasn't really working quite right. And it turned out it was a really stupid mistake. It was just one equation somewhere where I hadn't punched in the number of keys properly. I think I answered this last time on stream. I won't go into too much detail. But I did change this profile here at the front of the box. This basically rests against the top of the keyboard. The reason I did that is because there are these little ribs inside the keyboard, and I wanted this plastic part to rest on those ribs. I wanted them I wanted this to use the ribs as effectively like a brace, so that it wouldn't move around when you push on the keys and stuff like that. I've been very successful with this. I basically printed just a small cross section here a bunch of times, and I was iterating on the angles and the how much it protruded and everything. And now this edge here, it rests pretty nice. This whole thing rests pretty nicely against the ribs, which is really nice. I also iterated on the depth of the box itself and the positioning of the switch inside the box, a fraction of a millimeter at a time. And you probably noticed that here I put in these 3 notches here, which correspond, if you've ever opened a Kinesis keyboard, an Advantage more specifically, you'll notice that you probably have seen this before, but there are these 3 plastic pegs, I guess you could call them, that are in the keyboard as it comes, and so the original PCB kind of rests on these pegs. And anyways, I spoke a bit about that earlier, where basically they melt the plastic in place to kind of hold they melt these pegs in place to hold the PCB board in place. If you modify your keyboard at all, if you want to clean your function switches, you have to cut the top of these pegs, the part that's been molten. And so the idea is, if you've cut the top off, which you have to make this mod, then the pegs are probably still around, and then we can use them. Not only it's kind of like it's a dual purpose thing. They're used for registration, meaning that it's on top of these little ridges here that fit inside the other ribs that are inside the keyboard. These notches here serve as extra registration because they fit around the pegs nicely. And also, I mean, if you've still got the pegs in there, I had to make these cutaways, otherwise this part just doesn't fit in the keyboard. Now, the other modification I made was, the astute among you, or the observant among you, will notice that we now have two parts to this face. And this is quite simple. All I did was I created this offset plane here. This is a plane that's been offset from the origin. It's just slightly above the origin, and actually by how much, I'm not even sure. 0.6 millimeters. And then I use that plane to cut this body in half. And the reason for that is that it allows me to print this whole plastic piece in two parts. The reason that's important is because I could print this face lying down, like this would be on the print bed and this little thing would be here on the print bed. But that would be terrible. There would be support material everywhere. It would droop. It would be gross. But on the other hand, I was trying last time in the last episode to print this on the underside, the PCB. And the problem with the bottom layer on the printer is that it gets squished into the hotbed, which means that this tolerance is not super well respected by the printer on the first layer. By cutting this in half, what I can do is I can print the bottom of this facing the print bed, and I can print the top of this facing the print bed, effectively getting two top faces from my printer, which allows the PCB to come out super nicely. And then, you know, I was thinking maybe I need to glue these together or something like that. I certainly could, but based on my tests so far, I won't need to. Just the tolerances on these holes are so, they're just right, you know, they're really just right. And so the switches, when they fit in here and you assemble both these parts together, the plastic pegs that are all along this row, they're all the rows like this, all the bigger holes. So they're all the, I guess you could call them vertical holes there, this row and this row and this row and this row. They all stick through both plastic parts, and they hold them tightly together, which is very nice. So all this being said, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about now, and hopefully it'll be a bit clearer. Let me switch to the workbench. And RDP back in. All right. So, let's look at this. It's the keyboard shell. Actually, I should get the soldering iron out of the way, shouldn't I? I'm really running out of space on this desk. Woo! And then, check it out. Check out these beautiful keys. All right, let me grab the mouse and work it focus for you guys. You should be able to pull in the focus on this. Just a little bit. All right, check it out. Better or worse? There we go. All right, this is my prototype, and it's mounted inside the keyboard, and as you can see, it actually works quite well. The switches fit nicely in the holes. They don't rub against the edges, though the keycaps are a little small right now. The tolerances around the keycap, maybe I could adjust that a little bit, but for now, I mean, it fits great. And if you turn this around, oops, sorry, I think I knocked the microphone there. You can see what this looks like. And this is actually both pieces together. You can see that the PCB is there. This really is nicely, like, it just stays in place there. I can kind of try to move it around. It doesn't move at all on either axis. It's really quite nice. This camera, for some reason, whenever I play around with the focus, sometimes the frame rate just completely drops. I'll have to investigate that. Anyways, it's quite nice, and you can see as well that the PCB, let me see if I can pop this out without removing all the keycaps. Turns out I can. All right. So you can see that the, first of all, that both parts, it's pretty much kind of seamless. Is it too close, too far? All right, there we go. It's pretty much seamless. You can actually see the seam here. It's not like perfect, but that's not really going to play. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference in the end. Oh, that's a keycap. I might have to change the tolerances on these keycaps a little bit. Some of them are a little like loose. I don't know, I'm not sure. Or maybe it was just actually I hadn't pushed it down enough. Oh, okay. sorry. All right, so this shouldn't fall out anymore. And yeah, and you can get an idea for how this PCB turned out. It's not bad, you know. I played around with the widths, the depths, and so on. And all I did was I ran the knife down the copper tape, as I explained last time, and I ran first the sharp side, and then I just ran the back of the knife through there to kind of push the tape down into the grooves. And I'm really impressed by how reliable that process is, because I was expecting to get all kinds of shorts between the different parts of the PCB, you know. It's 3D PCB, I don't even know how to call it. 3D printed circuit board. It is a 3D printed circuit board, so 3D PCB, let's call it that. And even though it's not three-dimensional, it's the printer. Anyways, I'll let the internet find better nomenclature. And yeah, so I've tested this with a voltmeter, and there's no continuity where it's not expected. What I did not check, though, is I didn't double check this. I actually broke part of this design in Fusion 360 a little while back. I'll have to redouble check this with the overlaid. Oh, there we go. So one did pop off. Yeah, I'll have to be careful with this. Oh, this is one of the original ones, I think. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh, one of the legs broke. Did it break inside the switch? It does not seem like it did. That might be why it popped out, though. See, the final switches, they're going to be printed at 0.1 layer height. They're going to be printed slowly, and these are really like sort of fire and forget switches. I printed, I think, 6 of them out in like 12 minutes or something on like a super low quality setting. All right, so let me have a quick look here. I was actually online earlier in Fusion, and for some reason it was warning me that it was offline because of a detected outage. Yeah, temporarily in offline mode, affecting all online workflows and work team usage. So I don't know what they mean by online workflows. It's a little unclear when it does actually try to go online. I don't know, like some of these compute jobs are pretty heavy. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they oh hey JF, welcome. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they fix this fast enough. But some of the compute jobs for like intersections and stuff like that, are they running online? I'm not 100% sure. Like, what if I try to do this? This is the PCB. If I try to edit this feature, is it gonna like balk? Nope. Okay, so that must be an offline workflow. Awesome. So what I thought we'd do tonight, maybe, is we could, first of all, I could double check the PCB. Second of all, I could maybe start on the other PCB for the other side. So it'll be more the same, but I do need to kind of take the switch box. Part of it is going to be symmetrical, part of it is not going to be symmetrical, so I need to be careful about that, how I replicate it in Fusion 360. That's a good question, actually. I'm wondering whether, so the switch is here. If you look at how the switch is mounted, whoops, well, that keycap's not going anywhere. I wanted to pull the keycap off and I pulled the whole switch out. So as we saw in a much earlier episode, the switch itself is not centered. All right, stupid focus. Anyways, the switch is not centered, and the keycap is also not centered. The pegs are slightly off to the side. Now, what I'm wondering is, should I just mount them off to the left in the other side of the keyboard as well, or should I actually kind of flip the whole thing and have it mirrored so that the keys are on the switches rather on the outside of the left side? Yeah, that makes sense. So they kind of be mounted as a mirror. Let me quickly go back to the desk, I guess. All right, let me go back to the desk. The temperature is climbing in here. It's getting really warm. All right. So, first things first, let me double check the PCB. All right. This is the bottom. So again, I got to make sure I get the symmetry right. And then we'll probably paint over the other one tonight as well. Okay, so I've got this guy, and then this guy, and then let's move this over. Oh wait, oh that's weird. One of these two pieces of software doesn't support the newfangled Windows dongle resize there. All right, or the splitter, I guess they probably call it. Okay, so on the left side, it's facing the underside of the keyboard. This is also facing the underside of the keyboard. So this, unless I'm mistaken, this looks completely wrong. Okay, wait. Because this is on the bottom. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is completely wrong. Okay, so oops. Ooh. What is going there? Okay. Okay. That's better. This guy's on its own. This guy's on its own. Oh, this is wrong too. Should be like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I wrecked this sketch somehow. I'm not sure exactly. It's a little clumsy on my part. Okay. You know, there's the OCD part of me as well that really wants to get these like precisely aligned with all the holes and stuff, but I gotta stop worrying about this sometime, you know. It's just gotta start getting stuff done. Okay, so red, green, red, blue, yellow, cyan, red, but this is wrong. See, oh, what is going on there? What is going on there? Cripes. See, I'm not sure why it's doing this. Like, what if I fix this point? It's fixing the whole thing. I could fix that point. See, there's something about... There's something it's not... Something about the offset that it's not... Oh, this is a midpoint constraint. Oh, that's wrong. Get rid of this. Don't... No, thank you. Oh, there's another one of those in here somewhere, I think. Okay. Glad I got that sorted out. That was cyan, and then this is red, so then I move this to the left. Aha! There we go. Green. Much better, thank you very much. And then purple is this guy, so what are we missing? Nope, it's probably this that needs to go like that. Okay. This was cyan, right? With yellow and red. green. This should be purple. Oh wait, what's green? Is this green? Sorry, this is green. Oh, I'm really missing a line there. What? What? Clearly I was trying to do something here. Okay. Cyan. I'm getting close to the point where I just want to start this over. If that's the case, I'm going to forget about this one for now. Go to the other one. And because I've done this before on air and I just don't want to waste your time, so. This should be purple, or no, sorry. It's probably blah, 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 blue. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, this is all wrong. Okay, this is all wrong. Okay, screw it. I'm going to leave this aside for now. But what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to... Okay, wait. This is the part where sketch is done. This is the extrusion. This is the sketch for the notches and the extrusion for the notches, the offset plane, the split. I'm going to take this and this. I'm going to move them to the end, which shouldn't change anything. Yeah, it broke all the profile. Okay, whatever. I don't care about that. I'll fix it later. So if I suppress this for now, then I get just a pure... Oh, was I looking at this backwards again? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let us look at... I didn't actually take pictures of the other side of the PCB. Okay, I need to use my phone for that. And to be able to use my phone, it needs to be on. Okay, so while the phone turns on, let's see if I can't get this to duplicate and mirror. Because really, I'll need to mirror the keycaps as well if I do that. If my keycaps are not symmetrical. There's something about the fact that they would be mounted symmetrically, though, that appeases me. So I'm actually going to try to do this. I'm going to mirror both bodies. And to do that, I'm going to construct an offset plane vertically and move it over there. Say, all right. And then I'm going to create mirror pattern type bodies. I'm going to select both bodies and then mirror plane this guy. And then here we go. Beautiful mirror. Could you somehow color the pins on the sketch to help with the PCB design? Yes, yes we could. Could I color them? I don't know. But I was thinking of putting letters down or something like that, like little somethings. Yes, I concur. That's probably something I'm going to do. The number of times I'm trying to go over this design there, I completely agree. I think it's time I invested a little more effort into this. Yep. All right. So I can hide construction. This looks good. Let me have a quick look inside the keyboard. So I went and mirrored that thing, but I never really had like an extended look inside the keyboard to make sure that that it's actually symmetrical. I'll tell you, it's not symmetrically dirty. That I can confirm. But as far as everything else goes, it looks symmetrical to me. Yep, it looks really symmetrical actually. Yep. So something else, let me switch back to the other, do I need to? I don't know. Yeah, I kind of need to. All right. Oh, actually, wait, I got a better idea. Let's do this. Okay, let me see if I can. There we go. All right. So this hole here and this hole here are unused. They are completely useless. It looks like in the actual keyboard design. Is this focusing at all, or hello? Yes, it is. Okay. So what I was hoping to do was to extend the plastic all the way out to that screw hole and use a screw to really hold this down in place. Another thing I wanted to do was to, when you look at this from the side, the back side of the keyboard shell comes and it really it follows this line very closely. And there's actually not that much clearance here behind there, which kind of poses a challenge when I'm going to have to think about the connectors for the wires that are going to run down here. I have to make sure that they're not too deep and that they don't run into something else. Oh yeah, I finished desoldering the stuff from the motherboard. I should show you that. It came out really nice, by the way, at the very end. I think that on stream I didn't have all the confidence that was required to do the operation, but when I was off air afterwards, it was really quite easy, and I managed to clean the board quite nice and everything. I'll show you that in a sec. So yeah, so what I was going to do is maybe take parts of this plastic, maybe useless parts on the PCB or something, and make little legs, kind of little standoffs, a bit like this or like that, and they would kind of sit on the back side of the keyboard shell here, which means that when you close the keyboard, everything would be like super nice and tight in there. It wouldn't move at all, not a single millimeter or even part of a millimeter. That's my goal. Now let me show you the motherboard that I was talking about. I'm not gonna move it too much because it's kind of soft and flimsy. But you can see that that's where the connectors were, actually here and there. And after the desoldering operation, I was able to clean it with just regular rubbing alcohol and a little brush there, pretty stiff brush that I used. Same type of brush that I use for cleaning my paintbrushes and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. All right. I think the phone is on now. Let me, if I didn't just break it, let me take a picture of the other PCB. Sorry, I'm really running out of space here. All right, let me. Oh, what's going on? I got a leg here that's not following. All right. It's kind of crooked. All right, let me see if I can angle this down a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing a little better. Oops. There you go. Sorry, that was my elbow hit the keyboard there. All right. So I'm going to put this PCB here, and then I'm going to put it on a white background because that's going to give it It's going to make it easier for me afterwards. Despite what the webcam would have you think, I'm not sure if that's the color temperature or what. This is actually white. Oh, I see what's going on. Aha! Sorry, the webcam was coming loose there. Coming unscrewed. That's why it was unstable. There we go. Nice and tight. Alright, now let's take a picture of this. Alright. I'm going to try to light this a little bit. All right, I should have a good number of pictures to choose from. And actually something I could do in the meantime is I could slice up that mirrored image and print a copy of it to make sure it still fits on that side of the keyboard. So I'm going to do this from here. PCB switch box. It's going to be the left. Okay. And it's going to be left. And then just to avoid the confusion, I'm going to name these as well. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's save this and export it as an STL. Switchbox left.stl. Boop. Add it to Dropbox. Yes, thank you very much. All right. 90 degrees. This looks nice and symmetrical. $37 You know what? I think I have enough work for 37 minutes. Save to removable drive. A PCB switch box left. Actually, let me see what other crap I've got on that SD card, because I think the current Marlin flash I have is... Wait, did I print these? I did. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Tree Frog 45 cut. Okay, delete these items, and then I can eject. Oh, might be in use. Might be in use. Okay. Eject. So going to Just start this print. There we go. Print started. So I'm gonna go back to the desktop again. All right. Okay. So let's see if the pictures have gone through yet. The second time that like Chrome icon disappears. It's so weird. All right. That is a terrible picture, unless it's just a low res version. Okay. This looks nice and clear. Ooh, wait. I like this one. All right. Wait, let me download. And then put that same place as the other. Put that. Just checking the printer there, the first couple movements. Make sure everything's all right. Burn my fingers once or twice. All right. There we go. 3D printing. There we go. Actually, you know what? I should rename this PCB right, and then this will be PCB left. All right. Should rename this file too. PCB left. Okay. Should make sure that they match what I called this is PC. This is left, left. Always using the facing the keyboard. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's not right. Just help me work a little bit. All right. Okay. So let me just. I'm about to make the same mistake as last time. Let me draw right into the right layer. Okay. Alright, now let's color the next one over. I'm painting these by hand because the wand last time did a pretty crap job. And I didn't want to spend any time trying to play around with that again. It's a pretty fast process. By wand, sorry, that should be blue. By wand, I mean the magic selection wand, of course. I tried a few tricks to adjust levels and kind of combine some layers to get rid of stuff like the glare and stuff like that, but it was just not worth it in the end. Yellow, magenta, no, sorry, cyan. Oh wow, right on. I'm really excited. It's so exciting to get this working. Like, I cannot tell you, every time I use this keyboard, this is like an old keyboard that I used to have like a long time ago. Oh man, I can't wait to have these function keys in there. I'm super motivated to finish this project. And the thing is like, I think that, you know, it's all coming together now. It's really, it's nice. This will probably be like the most useful project ever in terms of usefulness. I know that I have another project that you might have seen around on the internet. It's a wireless, well, it's no longer wireless, I suppose. I actually wired it now, but it's an NES doorbell that gets a lot of comments and a lot of views. But as amusing as that is, it doesn't come near the usefulness of this. And it's not an NES itself, it's an NES controller, I should say. And any button you push rings the bell upstairs. Alright. This looks like something. This wasn't too long. Alright, PCB left, PDN, that works for me. Just making sure I got everything right. So, let me look into that suggestion of yours, actually, JF Peters, to see if I can't tint or something, that part of the PCB. Fusion 360 color sketch. Kinda color constraints. Yeah, because it does kind of use the colors as a hint. Yeah, exactly. It shows geometry state. Oh, color constraints. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so you can color the lines based on this type of constraints. This actually seems kind of nice. What? Wait, this is May. This is a year old. I think. Oh, is it back? Working online. They got it back. Very nice. Yeah, they're super nice. They're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. Oh no, wait, sorry, the options are here. No, here. Preferences, there we go. Ooh, that fan is noisy all of a sudden. I don't know why that is. Preview. You can actually author PCBs in here. I haven't tried. I'm not sure this is, you know, the best piece of software for that, but I'd be curious. I'd be curious. Yeah, I think this feature now is out of preview and actually built into the core product. I think, as I recall, I remember reading a release note about that for some while back. Okay. We were tracing this stuff, and then I'm probably gonna try to actually draw that into the PCB. What was going on? Let me just check quickly. Seems like there's a little vibration there. Whoa. Let me pull out old electrical tape. See if I can't fix the vibration temporarily. With this nice cheap electrical tape. That would work. Okay. There we go. Problem fixed. See, that's the thing. With like a cheap printer like this, I have no qualms about doing that. And the print still comes out great, believe it or not. All right. Oof, man, it's really hot in here. Of course, with the heat, the tape will probably come undone, but I'll enjoy the silence while it lasts. Relative silence. Okay. Can I color something other than the lines, though? Sketch color lines. You cannot customize a combination of background and color lines. Sketch. On the graphics screen, sketch elements of any selection after from the right mouse button properties at each change you need. What? When creating a sketch? Because you want to change the color, is it possible? Okay. You cannot customize to any combination of background and color lines. Sketch. Okay. Guess the operative keyword was you cannot. Like your idea of text, if you could color it, if you could then differentiate between the different lines of the same color. Yeah, I'm not sure I can color text either because it translates its geometry, but let me check that to be sure. Okay, color, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we cannot... I could actually put both PCB sketches in the same sketch. I'm not sure that's a great idea. Is it? Nah, it's not a great idea. Okay. Project this. See, when you click on that plane, now it just did something. And I'm not sure what. It cuts the camera. So, in order to make sure that I'm set up properly, I need to kind of like go back in here and then rotate the camera again. And then, there we go. So now I know I'm looking at it from underneath properly. Wait. This is confusing. Because on the underside, this winds up on the left. Okay, so what I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to move this plane here, and I'm going to, instead of 200, minus 200, or actually I'm going to set it to 0. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this plane. There we go. Delete. That's right. And then the mirror, edit feature, mirror plane, this plane. There we go. Okay. Now that's less confusing. This is actually how it looks like when I'm looking at the keyboard from underneath. So it gets a little confused with the gimbal lock there. Okay, this is the top side. Right. It's really confused. Okay, there we go. Bottom. Okay. It used to be, there we go. You can rotate this. Okay. Now let's project some geometry. That's a good point actually. Here in this other sketch, it didn't project the notches here, which is fine, Wait. Am I... Wait. Ugh. Okay, this is wrong. See, I projected the wrong thing. Let me select all that. And then get rid of it. And let me project this instead. Because that's what I should be projecting. Alright. Okay, now what I wanted to look at earlier was, did it project these? Unsuppress. Edit sketch. Yeah. Oh yeah, it did. Okay. Because the thing is, remember I reordered these in the timeline, so now the projection is actually supposed to still reference the original sketch elements, or I should say features. So now I think that, I don't think the notches were there before, but they're appearing now, because when I reordered it, the notches were made before the projection occurs. So that's kind of nice, actually. Okay, and then move the timeline after this here, unsuppress this, whoops. That's kind of interesting. Okay, and then re-edit the sketch, which this is wrong. Okay. All right, so text. Text. Font. Text style. You know what? I think I'll go with RGBCMYK. I don't really have K. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. And then just text it in. Okay. Nope. Music's done. So I need to keep the music going because the music is what tells me if my sound card screws up and you guys lose sound. Unfortunate, but low tech. Alright. 32, 33 degrees Celsius before humidex. Okay. Okay. Oh, see now it seems like it. Oh, it does work, the splitter. No, only for this application. That's weird. Okay, so it's paint.net that doesn't respect it. Unfortunate. Okay, so let's text this up. I think I can actually, if I'm not mistaken, I can drag, or what does this mean? Here we go, text. Ooh, very nice. Oh, I like that. I'd never tried this before. Okay, awesome. Oh, that means I can remove this garbage here. Can I? XXX. Can I actually hide the whole... Oh, it really doesn't save me much. Okay. This, though. This I never use. Okay. Awesome. Okay, we discovered something tonight. So it may not be the same G's, but at least same G, I mean like the same greens, but okay, G. Okay. G. Can I duplicate this? Nope. Can I copy it? I cannot. See, there's something really weird with the move and copy command. Sometimes you get a checkbox at the bottom that says create a copy, and sometimes you do not. And it's really like unclear what causes it to choose to display that box or not. I'm not sure. So I think I'm just gonna go at this low tech and say Y. Does it remember? No, it doesn't remember. All right. Click. Y. G. Click. B. Click. G. It sounds like I'm rehearsing my alphabet. Oh, I could use lowercase for the other one. There we go. G. Yeah, see here we actually have reds that straddle. So this notion of lowercase R. Oh, and also using these letters is going to tell me, give me the good direction to look at this. It's going to give me a cue as to which direction I should be looking at it in, which is good. Okay, the next one is R, but it's the lowercase r. Okay, this is cyan. Again, cyan. Can I just copy paste this maybe? Copy paste. See, I don't know, man. Magenta. And then cyan again. And then this was capital red, right? Yes. Wait. Yes, capital red. Okay, and then yellow. And then green. Wait, this is the second green, so lowercase. Just to avoid any confusion there. Green to like this. Blue. That is the second blue as well. Then green. And lastly, capital red. Awesome. Okay, saved all this. Now at least I won't lose, well, I'll still lose my bearings, I'm sure, but not quite as fast. Okay. I don't have to draw these exactly right because don't forget I'll have to offset the lines after. Okay, this is green, yellow is good, blue is good. Oh man, this is so fast and nice. This like coarse PCB goings on. Okay, like that. Red is going to come all the way over here. Then like this. And then I think all the way to the end, isn't it? Yeah. The lettering / coloring was a great idea. I'm glad I spent the time doing it. Thanks for suggesting it and for reminding me when I started thinking about the colors again, about the idea of the text. This is lowercase red, cyan, cyan, magenta. So here I'm actually going to try to make this pad a little bit bigger because otherwise the magenta is going to have limited, you know, soldering real estate, if you will. Okay, cyan, cyan, magenta, cyan. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Okay, sorry. Okay. Red, and then this next one is yellow. And green, green, blue, green. Same idea here. Give this guy a little pad. And that's it. And that's it. Oh, I just slammed my knee into the PC. Ugh. Okay. Let me just double check this. Green, green, green. Yellow. Blue. This is so much easier with the lettering. Okay, red, 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 all the way to the end, and then on the, yeah. This is red but lowercase. Cyan, cyan, and then magenta, and then cyan, and then red, and then yellow, and then green, and then this guy's blue on his own, and this looks great. Okay. Let us offset these lines. Okay, oh. Groove W. See, wait, this happened last time too. Groove W. Groove W. See, it's not putting in the formula. Why not? It's really weird. I don't understand why it's so. I don't understand why I have to do this again. I wonder if this is not a bug in the offset tool or something. No other part of the software behaves this way. Ah, I see. It's making a choice about branching here. So, you know what? I don't even need to worry about groove W for the first time. I'm just gonna say 1. Okay, thank you. And then groove W. There we go. Boop. And then groove W. Offset this guy. 1. W. Offset this guy. 1. Weird. Alright, and then I can offset everything. Remove these guys so that they're in a... Whoops. That was weird. Sometimes there's a little bit of lag here. I don't know that it's the machine. I think it's just all the constraints that it has to solve. Well, okay, so probably that's related to the computer. So this isn't a complete slouch, this machine. Oh, forgot an offset here. Oops. There we go. Move this guy out a little bit. See why? There we go. So one of these is the offset line, which is somehow through the constraint solver dragging the other line. Okay. Looking good. Oh, I forgot about the printer. Sorry about that. The printer's still going. It's about 70% done. Alright, so we show these bodies and then we extrude and then we choose all these little profiles there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something's going on here. Why doesn't it consider this region to be closed? Same problem here. Okay. Well, this is weird. This is the original line. It's closed here. It's because it's weird, even though these cross. See? Yeah, break. Okay, that's fine. Constraints were removed, yeah. And what about here? What's it doing here? So it's got this line, but it doesn't understand. Where's the constraint here? It's saying left inside, okay. So if I was to make this it doesn't. Oops. Failed to solve, yeah. It's because it's over constrained. If I say this point has to be on this edge. But see here, it automatically, oh no, sorry, it put a perspective. Oh, what did it do? Okay, it put nothing, okay. This is just weird. If I say this is 0, it can't. And what if I say is this? No. No. Oh, this is it. Okay. So if I get rid of this, does it get rid of the? No. It just converts this to a line, and then it just happily. That is so weird. Same problem. If I recreate it, same problem. Okay, wait. Something here is wrong. Okay, this region, this region, this is good, this is good. Okay, what if I offset this guy? See, there's something about the fact that it... No, still messed up. Okay, there's something here that's weird. Should I just redraw that whole line? Like, man, this is so weird. I'm not sure what it's doing here. Okay, wait, let me try something. Just for fun. See, this it understands. But it doesn't understand, like if I draw that. Part of me doesn't want to redraw this, like, this should work. Okay, well, for now, I mean, I could work around this. This is really strange. Why doesn't it, like... Exactly. That's exactly what I want to do. Thank you, Fusion. Let me try to break this line here. It's gonna remove some constraints. Blah blah blah. Still, this region is not right. Why is that? Clearly this line is doing its job because it's separating it from this region. Now this line is clearly not doing its job. Okay, so there's something about offset and then the closing of volumes. Weird. Okay, well, yeah, as long as we're drawing stuff manually, you know, why not? Okay, do that. Yeah, offset as a command seems a little half-baked compared to other features here. Oops, not extend, sorry, break. Break. Okay, and then I can just redraw this line. It's gonna wake up and boop. There we go. All right, back to extruding. Oops. All right. Cut that stuff, please. What? Okay, wait, I know what's going on. It's the sketch plane is wrong. Oh man, and there's no way to rotate the sketch plane. Oh, I defined it on the bottom face here, not the origin. Oh, this is gonna kill me. If it rotates everything around, oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, I think it will. I think it will. Oh. Alright, let's try it. Redefine sketch plane. Plane. This happened to me once before. This happened to me once before. Okay, the problem is that the sketch plane, the original sketch plane that I defined, is wrong. I told it to sketch in the bottom plane of this thing, which is wrong. Normally I sketched it at the origin plane, which is exactly like sort of, I think it's the, I don't even remember. It's a plane somewhere in here anyways. And then I extrude down, and then that gives me exactly the right groove depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hack this. It's not going to be the same as the other one, but it's going to work. Instead of extruding down and cutting, I'm going to extrude up and cut. And the distance is going to be minus groove. I think I don't even have it as a parameter, like the trace. Oh wait, it's trace. Trace. Nope. It's a constant in an operation somewhere. It's probably this one. No, it's this. That's a combine. Okay, let me back this up. Okay. It's two sides. Okay, so 1 and 0.8 is the depth of the... Okay, so with this hack, at least I'm going to make a parameter for it. Trace depth. 0.8. And then here, trace depth. Okay. So if I go all the way back to the end, this thing looks correct. So, okay, so this is the sketch plane after, actually, the bottom of the groove here. 0.6, and then there's another 0.4 up here. That's 1 millimeter total. Alright. Alright. Print is coming nicely. So, this guy, now, I'm going to cut minus trace depth. I should have explained what happened earlier. The plane was wrong. The depth of the plane was wrong. Now you might think that I could just redefine the depth of the plane by clicking on the origin plane, which is what I wanted. But as it turns out, they don't just map the depth of the plane. They actually have a hidden plane referential. So the sketch is stored in local coordinates. It's given like a full 3D transform. And part of it, though you can see the depth of the plane, you cannot control the rotation of that plane. And so that's unfortunate. When I clicked on the origin plane, my original plane was like 180 degrees backwards when I clicked on the other side of the solid, and so when it went back to the origin, it flipped my drawing around, which is incorrect, unwanted, and unfortunately, at last I read in the answers forum, answer base, which was not a long time ago, like a month and a half maybe, it was still at the people agreed that this was required, but it was still at the sort of wish list phase. So did that work? It most certainly did not. That's because it's still set to join. But now, if I cut, you can see the print is done now. That's good. Remove that. There we go. .6 millimeters, which is correct. And then 0.4 millimeters, which is perfect. All right. So I've got a PCB for this side. I'll have to fix the other one. I'll probably do that off air. because it is getting late. However, what I could do though is check to see if that print worked. Let's do that. Okay. I only have one set of keycaps, so I might have to tear these off, including this one with the broken leg. PCB back in the bucket. And then I'm going to take print off the print plate. Ta-da! Oh, there's a bit of a screw up here in one of the holes. There we go. You can kind of see that this hole here got just misprinted. There's a bit of filament here. I think that's at the start when I was trying to, right after the cleaning cycle in my G code, I think there was a bit of plastic kind of still stuck under the head there when I put my finger underneath it and I burnt myself. But no matter, doesn't matter. I'm just going to check if this fits on the other side. Let's see if this works. Let me point the camera down a little bit. Moment of truth. And it fits perfectly. Perfect registration, doesn't move at all. Nice and slick. What about the holes? Are they aligned? The holes look aligned just right. You know what? I'm gonna pull some new switches out of the bag. I'm always afraid I'm going to damage them, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, but they're fairly robust. I've only bent one pin so far, and it was fairly easy to rectify that situation. Alright, so I'm going to need to ream this out a little bit with my trusty hand drill, which I got, I think it was for my birthday at one point. My parents got me this, put it on a list, I believe. All right, yeah, this didn't turn out to be the greatest print, but hey, it's functional. That's all I need. Use an actual proper knife for this. And by proper knife, I mean like a knife that cuts, that is not dull, or that has not been burnt. Let me quickly switch up these blades here. I should probably tape these for safety. So nobody stabs himself picking up a garbage bag and put them in a box. All right. Won't change much, but just for good measure. Okay, I'll put this in a box. Okay. of these. I used it a few days ago. Oh, there it is. Let me transfer some to this container. Smell of a fresh oiled blade. Made in the US of A. All right. Where was I? Oh yes, using a knife as a reamer, which is not the best of uses for a knife, but in this case, it'll have to do. You know, I don't actually have a proper reamer. I should look into that. I don't think this switch is going to fit. I think this hole is kind of too damaged. We'll see. All right, let me try with this one first. And get the hard one out of the way. Not even close. Okay, wait. Let me try an easier one just to make sure I didn't get something wrong there. Oh yeah, okay. So the neighbor's totally fine. Oh man, Sprint is really crappy. Okay, it fit in there, but it's not happy about it. Okay, another one. See, you hear the snap there when it fits in. It's really nice. I really like the way I got this to fit just right. Now, of course, you know, this will depend on everybody's individual printer and the tightness of the tolerances and stuff. Oh, man, see, this one came out. They're not, once they're soldered and once the PCB is on the underside, they're not going to move at all. In fact, I even had one key switch bind the other day when I pressed up the PCB against it. I had to drill out the PCB a little bit more. Okay, got this like ooh, this feels nice. See, I feel like I'm making leaps and bounds of progress now. Just by mirroring this. Now we've got the other side of the keyboard also almost ready to go. What I need to do is to, oh, I bent a pin. No. See, this is rare, but it happens. I have a couple of these to spare, but not an infinity. So I'm going to try to avoid doing that. There we go. I think it's when I pushed it back in earlier, I wasn't careful. I was lazy / lousy. Oh, I may have another bent pin here. Okay, that's alright. I can debug that later. Yeah, that's the busted misprint. That's alright. Okay. Does it fit? It still most certainly does fit. And the switches look like they're aligned properly. So if I pull a couple keycaps off, will it work? Will it blend? It most certainly does. Oh, this is great. Let me pull a couple keycaps out of there. Not all of them, just a few.
All right. Yeah, whatever. This one keeps falling off because of that misprint. And this one too. All right, away you go. This is great. I love how I don't even have to look at the underside of the keyboard. It just registers straight and true. Just goes and fits in there. Oh. All right, this print wasn't the best, but I think we've proven that the concept works. These aren't they're not quite centered as well as on the other side. I wonder why that is. I think it might just be the print that I kind of screwed up a little bit there. The crappy print. All right, this is very, very motivating. All right, it is 11:15 here. I think I might check out for the evening. It's certainly so hot, I don't want to fire up the soldering iron right now. It would just kill me. I think it's up to, yeah, just under 33 degrees in the room, plus the humidity. So yeah, I think that's it for tonight. I mean, modest progress, but now we've got both sides in play. Next time I will probably print some PCBs and probably start actually like maybe soldering some switches to the PCBs. The thing is, as soon as I start soldering, that means committing these switches, of which I don't have too many, so I have to make sure everything works properly. Well, what might I do? I might solder some wire. I'm probably going to solder some connectors to the motherboard, and then I'm going to solder some wires to the PCBs, and I'm going to simulate pressing the switches by contacting between neighbor PCBs and seeing if that registers as the proper key presses. That is what I will do. I will also use, I think I found a piece of software last time, or at work the other day. I was having a problem with this keyboard. A key was stuck and I was trying to find out which. And there's a piece of software that, you know, just displays all the scan codes for the keys that you press and so on. So that should be helpful. And that is it. I think I'm gonna go and have a shower to wipe off this humidity before I head to bed. Thanks for joining in again. I will see you soon. Have a good one.